Here I am thinking I'm gonna be fall camping, but really this is kind of turning into camping in winter conditions, just without the snow. I guess that's what fall camping is like. You really don't know if you're gonna get a hot day or a cold day. But it looks like the sun's gonna poke out today, so hopefully that means it'll be a little warmer. Anyways, backpacking. We're going backpacking today, you and I. So let's get ready. And that is everything. Maybe I'm overpacked, maybe I'm underpacked, but it's definitely enough to survive. So now all I have to do is figure out how to fit this all into my backpack. There's already birds walking around my campsite looking for food that I left. Alright, it's about 12:30 in the afternoon, and I'm finally ready to go to the trail. The trail is only like 10 minutes down the road, so I don't have to worry about the drive. This is actually gonna be the very first time I'm going backpacking alone. I've done a lot of camping alone, but there's a big difference between camping and backpacking. I think if someone has the willpower, the mental strength, the discipline to go out and do something like this, then what can that person not do in life? What goal can they not reach? Backpacking alone is definitely not easy. You're truly out there alone and exposed to the elements. Yes, there might be other people on the trail, but people I don't know. I don't have cell service where I am, and I'm right now literally in the middle of Idaho. So if an emergency does happen, it's all gonna be on me. So this is a pretty big thing. I have to watch my steps carefully, but I know I can do it, and this will be a fun trip. Backpacking with other people is always really fun. It almost seems like the more people you have on a backpacking trip, the more fun it is. But for this opportunity, right now, all of my friends that I have that even would want to go on a backpacking trip are all busy. But I'm gonna do what I wanna do in life, and I'm not gonna wait on other people's agendas to do it. It's a nice day outside, and I wanna go backpacking. So with that being said, let's hit the trails.
You may have to sleep in your car. You may have to go without food. You may have to bounce around from couch to couch. You may have to sacrifice like nobody in your family ever has. But can you do it behind the scenes when nobody's looking, when nobody's watching, when nobody understands the measure of passion that you carry? Can you keep going? Don't stop! You're right there!
This is what I'm talking about. So between hiking through all of the bench lakes, there's like 4 of them, I've probably hiked about 5 miles with 2,000 feet of elevation gain today, which that's a day's worth of hiking right there. My back is sore, but I couldn't find a flat enough spot to put my tent, so I kept on hiking lake to lake until I found one. And I just hiked all the way up to the last lake here in the background, which is definitely the hardest hike to get to. And well, it paid off. This lake is by far the most beautiful one, and there's a nice flat spot for my tent right up the hill. It's up the hill and a little walk from the lake, which is actually kind of nice because I don't want to be camping right next to the lake, because the lake will actually make the area around it colder at night. So I'm glad that I found the perfect spot for tonight. Now it's time to get my tent set up and to enjoy the rest of the evening. Here is the tent setup for tonight. So the tent is a Mountain Cattle teepee style tent, and I have to say right now how I have it set up, it's a little weird, and that's just because I don't have enough space for it to reach its full capacity, and I have the bottom of it lined with rocks. And why do I have it lined with rocks? Well, it's gonna get cold tonight, and I want to do everything I can to keep the heat inside of the tent, the little of it that there is. But so it's lined up with rocks all over the way around, and if we go on in here, I'll show you the inside. Here it is. So I got my tarp double folded because a lot of the heat loss is going to come from the ground, so I want every layer possible keeping that heat from escaping into the ground. And it's probably going to get around 20 degrees tonight, so inside of it I actually do have a 60-degree sleeping bag right here that will help me keep extra warm. I have my coat that I can put on, or right now I'm using it as a pillow. I'll be putting on all these extra layers tonight to obviously try and stay as warm as possible. I do have a hat and gloves. And yeah, that's pretty much it on the inside. Just got my backpack set up and all the dinner ready to go for when I go and eat here in a few minutes. And then along the outside, I do have all sides of the tent tied off with some paracord, and that's just because teepee style tents don't do that good in the wind. So just in case it does get windy tonight, these will help keep the tent stable. There's the one for the back. I'm using a figure 8 on a bite on all these knots to tie off this tent. And that's the shelter. I have to say this is probably more of a summer tent, but it's the only tent that I had, so I'm using the best with what I have. Alright, I'm down by the lake now, and it's about 5:15 in the afternoon, so it's about time to make some dinner and also filter out some more water so I can stay hydrated. So dinner tonight is Italian pepper steak with rice and tomatoes. That actually sounds really good. So I'm trying to hit at least 1,000 calories, and to help me out I have this little guy. It's a small emergency food ration, kind of similar to the ones you'd find in a lifeboat, that can fit in the palm of my hand. And this little thing, they pack as much as they can into it. This is 200 calories. And it has a bunch of other stuff. It's high on protein, high on fat. So to boost my calorie intake, this is something that really helps. It doesn't taste the best. It kind of tastes like a graham cracker. But once again, I'm on a backpacking trip. You know, this is not about comfort food. This is about getting what needs to be done so you can survive. I'll go ahead and use my fancy utensil multi-tool that has a knife on it to cut it open. It's just got a little plastic layer on it. The hike today kind of started behind that mountain over there, and then we hiked through all of that, and then you go up the mountain. You first come across this first lake, second one, third one, and then the fourth one is behind me. So it's now about 7:30 at night. I've had a big day, so at this point I'm probably going to brush my teeth, put all my layers on, and then crawl into my sleeping bag for the night. If you've watched all the way up until this point of the video, thank you. I really appreciate it, and I will see you tomorrow.